We will have the press briefing by our director, Sri Nijilu Angami.
We all know that the economy of the state is being measured by the gross state domestic product figures. Every one of us will talk about the economy of the state. The politicians, they talk about the economy of the state. The bureaucrats, the planners, the business community, they talk about the economy of the state. The NGOs, and every one of us, we talk about the economy of the state. We talk about how is the performance of the economy, what is the performance of the economy, how much the economy is been growing, whether the economy is performing well or not, whether the economy is moving in the right direction, or whether the economy is facing some difficulties and hurdles. We talk about the GSTP growth rate, GSTP growth rate of 5%, 8%, 10% and beyond. We talk about all these figures because we are all interested in the GSTP figures. And rightly so, because the GSTP figures are directly affecting each and every one of us. And we all know that through the GSTP figures, we can derive the per capita income of an individual. We can able to know the share of an individual from the GSTP figures. We can also understand the standard of living of the people. And above all, we can know the development activities of the state. Therefore, to sum up, the GSTP figure is the best indicator for economic growth. The officials of the Department of Economics and Statistics is estimating and bringing out the gross state domestic figures on an annual basis with a lot of dedication and sincerity, even though there are huge challenges and hurdles in the estimation procedures. Nevertheless, our team of officials and staff are trying our level best to make sure we provide the best estimate of the GSTP. My department is not taking the credit of coming up with the GSTP figure. Yet, we are very happy that our output, our work is being appreciated over the years for coming up with a better GSTP figures. So with these few words, I would like to go list of gross state domestic product GSTP Nagaland 2021-2022 for the series 2011-12. Number 1, terms and definition used in gross state domestic product. First, gross state domestic product GSTP, which is also called the state income, is defined as the total monetary value of all goods and services produced within the economy during a specific time period, usually a year. It measures the economic growth of the state. 2. Nominal GSTP or GSTP at current prices. GSTP estimated using the current prices is called as the nominal GSTP or GSTP at current prices. Real GSTP or GSTP at constant prices. GSTP estimated with the use of base year prices is called as the real GSTP or GSTP at constant. The economic growth of the state over time is measured through the growth of the real GSTP. Base year, the present base year for measuring the real growth of GSTP is 2011-12. This base year makes possible the analysis of the structural changes taking place in the economy without the cyclical fluctuation in prices over time. Gross state value added, GSVA, at constant prices, at basic prices. GSVA at basic prices is the monetary value of all the goods and services produced within the economy less the amount of taxes. So these are the definition of the GSTP. Now we come to number 2, gross state domestic product of Nagaland as on 30th July 2021-2022. So 30th July 2021-2022 is the reference period for this release. As per the advanced estimates of gross state domestic product for the year 2021-22, the real growth of the economy has picked up from a negative growth of minus 2.63% witnessed in 2021 to 8.98% in 21-22. The advanced estimates suggest that the growth of the state economy have surpassed the pre-pandemic average growth of 5.38% despite the second wave of the pandemic that plagued the economy during the first quarter of the 2021-2022, which has been reflected in table number 1.1. The estimated figure of the GSTP both at constant and current prices in the 2011-12 series is given in table number 1.1, gross state domestic product at market price 2011-12 series as of 30th July 2021 is being provided in table 1.1. The year is being provided for the year 2011-12 up to 2021-22 advanced estimate. We have also in this figure provided the GSTP at constant prices and current prices, and also the percentage growth of both the constant and current prices. Next page. In absolute number, the real growth of the economy is estimated to increase from rupees 17,991.614 crore in 2021 provisional to rupees 19,607.83 crore in 2021-22 advanced estimates. Correspondingly, the nominal growth of the economy is estimated to have increased from rupees 30,425.11 crore in 2021 to rupees 33,705.84 crore in 2021-22 advanced estimate reflected in table 1.1. The trend of growth of the GSTP both in constant prices, that is real growth estimates, and current price nominal growth estimates is presented in figure 1.1. We come to number 3, sectoral contribution to gross state value added, GSVA, at constant prices. The GSVA comprises of the summation of the contribution from the three sectors: primary sector, secondary sectors, and tertiary sector. The sectoral contribution help to analyze the sectoral changes taking place within the economy over time. Table 1.2 as given below depicts the contribution of the three sectors of the economy to the total gross state value added GSVA at constant prices. The table 1.2 sectoral contribution of GSVA at constant price has been highlighted for the period 2011-12 to 2021-22 of these advanced estimates. The sectoral contribution as presented in the above table indicates that the structural change of the economy was slowly shifted towards the tertiary sector of the economy. The primary sector contribution to GSVA over time has declined from 31.4% in 2011-2012 to 26.88% in 2021-22 advanced estimate. On the other hand, the contribution of the secondary sector has been hovering around 9% to 12% since 2011-12, reaching a peak of 12.90% in 2017-18. The share of the tertiary sector, which has contributed 56.17% to the GSVA in 2011-12, has steadily increased to 62.77% in 2021-2022. Number 4, sectoral performance by economic activity at constant price for the series 2011-12. For the purpose of estimation of GSVA, the economy of the state is divided into three sectors: primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. The primary sector comprises of activities that deal with the natural resources, that is agriculture, forestry, mining and quarrying, livestock, etc. The secondary sector comprises of activities that transform one good into other goods, that is manufacturing, construction, electricity, etc. And tertiary sector comprises of services, activities, that is trade, transport, education, medical, financial activities, public administration, etc. In table 1.3, sectoral growth rate of the economy at constant price is being highlighted. 4.1, primary sector. 4.1.1, primary sector comprises of crops, livestock, fishing and aquaculture, forestry and logging, and mining and quarrying. As per the advanced estimates of GSTP, the growth rate of the primary sector is estimated to pick up from minus 1.73% in 2021 to 4.37% in 2021-22, highlighted in table 1.3. 4.1.2. Within the primary sector, the crop sector is the most robust sector with its contribution to GSBA accounting for 15.41% in 2021-22, followed by forestry and logging, livestock, mining and quarrying, and fishing and agriculture, which has been reflected in table 1.4. Now we come to 4.2, sectoral sector. The secondary sector. The secondary sector comprises of all those economic activities which transform one goods into another goods. The subsector of secondary sector comprises of manufacturing, electricity, gas, water supply, and other utility services and construction. During 2021-22, the growth rate of the secondary sector is estimated to pick up from a negative of minus 9.12% in 2021 to 9.36% in 2021, you need to see in table 1.3 in the previous page. Now we come to table 1.5. This table shows the contribution of the component of secondary sector to GSBA at constant price. This is the table for secondary sector shares. So from this table, 4.2.2 is being highlighted. The manufacturing sector is the core of the industrial sector. The contribution from manufacturing sector to GSBA was estimated at 1.62% only in 2021-22. Under manufacturing, the major production comes from manufacturers of woods and wood products, manufacture of furniture, manufacture of non-metallic materials, and the rest are spread over activities like grind mill products, dairy product, weaving, apparels, coke, and refined petroleum, etc. 4.2.3. The sub-sector of electricity, gas, water supply, and other utility services is the least affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. During the pandemic year of 2021, whereas all the other sector of the economy, secondary sector, has fallen to a negative growth, the growth rate of the subsector is estimated to remain at 0.14%. During 2021-22, the subsector is estimated to grow at 9.43%, which has been reflected in Annexure 6. 4.2.4. In the construction subsector, the growth in the construction sector is estimated to pick up from minus 14.26% in 2021 to 8.15% in 2021-22, which is also been reflected in Annexure 6. In terms of construction sector contribution to GSBA, the construction share in GSBA was estimated at 6.04% in 2021-22, highlighted in table 1.5. Now we come to 4.3, tertiary sector, that is the last sector of the three sectors. 4.3.1. The tertiary sector comprises of all economic activities that produces services. It includes trade, repairs, hotels and restaurants, transport, storage and communication, banking and insurance, real estate, ownership of dwelling, public administration and other services, etc. Over the years, the tertiary sector has become the most robust sector, contributing 62.77% of GSBA in 2021-2022, seen in table 1.6 below. During 2021-22, the tertiary sector was estimated to grow at 8.86%, which is being reflected in table 1.6. So table 1.6 shows the contribution of the component of the tertiary sector to GSBA at constant price. So from this 1.6 figure, we come to 4.32. One of the critical areas where the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic felt the most was in the trade and repair and hotel and restaurant sectors. With the lockdown measures prohibiting the operation of economic activities to its full potential, the trading of goods and services, which is directly proportional to the operation of the economy, has suffered a direct hit during 2020-2021. An indicative of the impact of the lockdown was directly visible from The growth rate of trade and repair and hotel and restaurant sector fall into a negative of -7.57% in 2021. With the normalization of the economy, the growth of the subsector is estimated to bounce back to a positive growth of 6.80% in 2021-22, seen in Annex 6. The subsector contribution to overall GSVA was estimated at 10.69% in 2021-22, seen in Table 1.6. The subsector of transport, storage, communication and services related to broadcasting, like any other services sector, has also suffered a serious slight down due to the lockdown measure during 2020-21. Consequently, the subsector is estimated to register a negative growth of -16.55% in 2021. During 2021, the subsector is estimated to grow at 10.22% in Annex 6, 4.3.4. The financial services comes under the category of supra-regional sector due to their pan-India existence. Consequently, the share of the state is simply the allocation made by the National Account Division of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Government of India. In the process of allocation, Ministry rely on the volume of transaction being done in their respective state. During 2021-22, the financial services is estimated to grow at 9.21%, seen in Annex 6, with a share of 3.89% in the overall GSTP, seen in Table 1.6. 4.3.5. Real estate and ownership of dwelling is one of the subsector which is assumed to be least affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. This is due to the fact that the number of dwelling during the year is expected to remain the same. During 2021, the gross value added of the subsector is estimated to have a negative growth of -2.75%, seen in Annex 6. This negative growth is solely due to the rate of depreciation suffered by the dwelling unit and the rate of declining gross fixed capital formation in the rural areas, rates as per IDS. During 2021-22 advice estimate, the contribution of real estate and ownership of dwelling to total GSVA is estimated at 6.66%, seen in Table 1.6. 4.3.6. The estimates of the public administration come from the budget document of the central government, the state government, and annual report of the autonomous bodies. Under public administration, the administrative authority is divided into central government administration, state government administration, and autonomous body. During 2021-22, as per the budget estimate of the government, the allocation for public administration has increased from Rs 6,015.90 crore in 2021 to Rs 6,764.28 crore, seen in Annex 1. Adjusting for the inflationary trend in the economy, the overall growth of public administration is estimated at 5.19%, seen in Annex 6, with a contributory share of 21.49% to GSVA during 2021-22, seen in Table 1.6. 4.3.7. This is the last subsector. The subsector of other services comprises of education services, human health services, and other revenue services. During the year 2021-22, the subsector of other services is estimated to grow at 16.54%, seen in Annex 6. In terms of contribution to GSVA, 15.67% comes from other services, which can be also seen in Table 1.6. 5. So this is all about the GSTP estimation. So we now come to the point number 5. Per capita income, PCI, 5.1. Per capita income is an average measure of income which is supposed to be received by each individual in the state if the total amount of state income is equally distributed among the total population of the state. Over the period of 10 years, the PCI of the state has increased from Rs 53,010 in 2011-12 to Rs 1,30,000 35,701 in 2021-22 advanced estimate, which is also been reflected in Annex 3, achieving a compound annual growth rate of 9.86%. Number 6, borrowing limit of the state government. This is the last point I will be reading for every one of us. 6.1, the borrowing limit of the state government is determined by the amount of the GSTP of the state. As per the Finance Commission of India recommendation for budgetary measures, beginning from 13th Finance Commission, state government is permitted to borrow only 3% of the gross state domestic figure from the financial institution. So this
regarding point number 2, what could be the main factor for the growth of the economy or GSTP from minus 63 to 8.98%?
Good and pertinent question. In 2020-21, we have a negative growth rate of minus 2.63. This negative growth rate was felt because of the lockdown measures initiated by the government. And because of those lockdown measures, the economic activities, all the economic activities of the state has come to a standstill. And because of that, we have a negative growth rate. All over the country, we have a negative growth rate. The GDP of the country has also come down to below minus 20%. However, in our case, even though we have been affected severely by the COVID pandemic lockdown measures, our economy has not really gone down to that much. And in 2021-22, once the government opened up the economy and the activities of the economy have able to flourish again, and because of the activity that has been taking place during this 2021-22 period, the sectors of all economics, the primary sectors, have also able to do well. The agriculture, the farmers were able to cultivate their growth, and they could able to have a bumper rate. The manufacturing sectors, the construction sectors could able to come out, and also the services sectors, the trading sectors, the hotel, the tourists have also played a major role in the picking up of the economy. And because of that, and also because of the contribution from all three sectors, the primary sector, the secondary sectors, and the tertiary sectors, and with the good policy that has been initiated by the government of Nagaland, the GSTP could able to grow from minus 2.63% that witnessed in 2021 to a very high growth rate of 8.98% in 2021-22.
Hello, my name is Rina. I'm representing the student. Sir, this is sort of tricky questions. But then I just wanted to know whether the department or people in the chair foresee what would be the GSTP in the coming years. Whether do you foresee that? Of course, we have mentioned in 4.3.5 that the number of dwelling during the year is expected to remain the same.
Of dwelling is also simply the activities that has been happening in the household sectors. Because in 2021, when there is pandemic, we don't see any household activities coming up. We don't see any people moving around. We don't see people moving around and occupying and renting houses. They are all in their houses. So there is less activities in the housing sectors. The people are not really trying to do some repair and renovation of the houses because we could not able to go out. But once the economy opened up in 2021, the people were able to do some repair renovation activities. They were able to do some activities that has been there are some activities of the household where they can able to generate some revenues. They started to rent their houses, and once the people move from one city to another city, they can able to rent their house to the people. So it is not easy to project or to foresee this number of people will be migrating to this city from that city. It's not easy because like when we want to know the migration figure, it is not very easy to get the migration figures. But there are some figures of Pan India where we have to depend on the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation for making our estimate. But for every estimate of every sector, we used to have an actual estimate, we used to have a provisional estimate, and we used to have an advanced estimate. So for the actual estimate, in this regard, we have shown 2019-20. 2019-20 is our actual estimate. So during 2019-20, the figure which is being shown here is the actual estimate. The actual estimate that has been taken place in 2021, 2019-20. So, and in 2020-21, we have the provisional figure, which is again to be made actual in the coming years. And the latest figures, which is the 2011, 2021-22, is the advanced estimate. We have made this estimate by adopting various methodologies. The methodologies that are being provided by the National Account Division, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, and these methodologies are uniform across the state. And these methodologies are based on the United Nations accounting procedures. So these methodologies are uniform across the state. It is uniform across the country. So this is how we used to estimate the GSTP figures and bring out these figures on actual estimate, provisional estimate, and also the advanced estimate.
Depict the future growth trends of our economy. And then from the past experience that we have, it only shows that during 2012-13, for real growth, we have 5.68%, but in the year 2021-22, the trend itself is showing 8.98. So from the past experience from 2011 to 2021-22, we can foresee that our economy will improve by leap and bound. Of course, it's a matter of time, and then we never know when this pandemic will end. But hopefully, that to be on the positive side, the past experience shows that our economy is on the positive track.
From the PTI and Nagaland page, I have three things here. The first one is you have said GSDP Nagaland as on 30th July 2021-22. So should we take it 30th July 2022?
Yes, 30th July 2021-22. So this is 30th July 22.
Yeah, so this is 30th July 2022. That is clarified. The second one is 4.2, secondary sector. There you have said that the subsector, secondary sector comprises of manufacturing, electricity, gas, water, so and so forth. But the growth rate that is being predicted or shown for 2020-21, 9.36%. Which particular unit is doing the best? Because here manufacturing, I think we hardly have anything. Electricity also, the government is always saying it is at a loss. Gas sector, I'm not aware of what is there. Water supply also same thing. Other utility services and construction. So can you please specify which unit or which subsector is the best, giving the best growth rate?
Yes. Annexure 6. Let's all go to Annexure 6. In Annexure 6, we have in serial number 1 to 17, we have item from primary sectors to secondary sectors to tertiary sectors, and we have estimates of the GSTP figures at growth rate seen from 2012-13 to 2021-22. So if we come to secondary sectors, which you are referring, you come to manufacturing sector, which is seen in serial number 3, manufacturing. So in 2021-22, the manufacturing sector has achieved a growth rate of 14%. And if we see the subsector of all the secondary sectors, in number 4 we have electricity, gas, water supply, and other utility service. So here also in 2021-22, we have a growth rate of 9.43%. Whereas in 2020-21, that is the COVID pandemic year, we have only registered 0.14%. So in 2021, this sector has also performed very, very well. And when we come to 4.2, we also talk about the water supply. Water supply also, it has gone from minus 0.96 in 2021 to 14.81% growth.
So here you mean to say that even the state is having income, it is earning income, no?
Yes.
Whereas the claim of the state government is it's always in the loss. No? That's why my specific question is that.
Just in addition to what the director has said, here in case of GSTP estimate, we calculate on the basis of the unit that is produced within the state. So we are not worried about the revenue generation. We are taking into account the amount of electricity that is produced from the state. So we have the then we have that Likimro hydro project, and then we have small So the total combined electricity that is generated is converted into monetary terms, and that is being reflected in the GST. But the revenue side is different.
Because in the first page, if we go through the terms and definition, it's very clearly mentioned that the state income is defined as the total monetary value of all goods and services produced in the country, in the state. So whatever is being produced in the country, it has been converted into a monetary value. So with this value, the GSTP from all the subsectors, summing up to the these 3 sectors, is being aggregated and we arrive at the final GSTP figure. And the revenue generation by the PWD department, by the PWD department, by the power department, and also PhD department are not being reflected here. So there are certain methodology which is being followed. So to obtain the to figure for these sectors, we take into account certain the budget document of the state, the total number of employees, the salary of the employee. Those are also being accounted in this figure. And then when we talk about the secondary sector, we talk about the construction sector. So construction has also gone up from minus 14.26% to 8.15% for this year.
Last one from my side, this point number 5, PCI. Of course, you have already given the definition. PCI is an average measure of income which is supposed to be received by each individual in the state if the total amount of the state income is equally distributed. So, like you are saying, if the total amount of the state is equally distributed, you are presuming on that. over the period of 10 years. So actually, it has increased from 53,000 to 1,35,000. So now, how do we come to this conclusion? Because we are trying to say that I think this is about 53,000 to 1,35,000 is per year
Yes,
kind of thing. So how do we come to this conclusion?
Yes. We all know that the per capita income of the state is being arrived by dividing the GSTP figure with the total population of the state. And when we talk about the PCI, we talk about the PCI which has been arrived from the net state domestic product at current price, dividing it with the population of the state. So in 2011-12, we have the per capita income at 53,010, and then correspondingly in 2021-22, the per capita income has increased to 1,35,701. So that is a very huge increase over the 10 years period. And when we see the inflationary rate, the estimates of the GSTP are being reflected through these inflationary rates. The prices of various goods and services are being taken into consideration. The prices does not remain the same over the years. It increases, and it increases, and when we estimate the GSTP values, we estimate the GSTP values by various methods: production methods, income methods, and expenditure method. So what we used to do is that the GSTP, what we used to do is that the production figures are being multiplied by the prices of that goods for that current period. So when we talk about 2011-12, the prices of at that time period was very low. And then when we talk about compare the prices in 2011-12, the prices of that same good has gone up 3-4 times. So with that price multiplying with the production figures, automatically, because of the inflationary factor, the quantity, the volume of the GSTP figure will also grow up. So with the higher number of GSTP figures dividing the population of the state will provide you a higher GSTP, I mean the higher PCI, per capita income. And at the same time, we also would like to let you know that the population also does not remain the same.
Right.
Over the years, the population also keep on growing.
Yes.
So every 10 years, the Census India, the Register General of India conduct Census of India. So we have the 2001 census, we have the 2011 census, we don't have the 2021 census because of the pandemic, it cannot be done. So within that intervention period, between that 2001 and 2011 census period, we don't have census data. So what we used to do is that we used to project the population figures. For 2012, we project 13, 14, 15, 20 with that of 2011 census period, and then we go up to 21, 22, 23, 24 projected figures. So with those projection figures, the population also will go up. So with that projection figure of the population and also the present GSTP figure inflected by the prices, it's been divided. It's been arrived for this per capita income.
Exactly, my next question was to be that only about the population thing.
Yes.
So what is the projected population that we have calculated here?
It's given in the annexure.
Annexure 1, if you come to serial number 6 in annexure number 1, 16. So from 2011-12, we know that the population of Nagaland as per the census is 19,900,000, 91,057.
Annexure, which one is it?
Annexure 1. Annexure 1.
No, the annexure is
With annexure 1 to 3 up to 7, we have given annexure.
Yeah,
So in
serial
annexure,
number 16.
serial number 16 will come to column number 3.
Yes, yes.
2021, 11, 12. This is the census figure.
Yeah.
91,053.
Yeah.
So in the corresponding years, we have made projection for the remaining year.
Yeah, so this year,
2012, 13, 14, up to 21, 22.
Yeah.
So these are all projected population figures.
Okay.
So with these figures, we used to divide the total GSTP figure, and with that we obtain this per capita income for the state.
So besides what the director has said, for better understanding, your query was about from 53,000, it went up to 1,35,000. So here, as the economy progresses, obviously the GSTP will increase with the economic activities happening in the state. But at the same time, although it shows a little bit of dichotomy between this increase in the GSTP and the PCI, per capita income, though we may be having a higher level of GSTP, one may wonder if our GSTP is so high, how is that the condition of our people are not up to that expected standard? Now here, this is because when we analyze it in real economic terms, it may be because of unequal distribution of income and wealth, where the maximum higher income is concentrated to only few. That would greatly reflect, or that may give us a thought that if our PCI is so much, why our people are poor? Right? So this is why, that is one, I think, what you were been asking, why there is a difference, although it is there from 53 going up to 100. So that, I think, satisfy your query.